Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. I don't normally do my technical analysis midweek, but I've been flooded with questions saying, is this the bottom and have we seen the end of the correction? So I'm just going to go over all the evidence that I think is in place now for and against whether or not we've seen the final bottom in the crypto market. So a few weeks ago I spoke about this head and shoulders pattern, and if it played out, the target was down here in the 1800s, and sure enough we got down here to the 1800s with all the hard fork issues I've been speaking about, and we closed right around this fib level here, 1895, and now we've had a really strong candle, and these candles that open on the bottom here and close right at the top without any wick, it's a pretty rare candle, and it's a good sign of a bullish reversal. So there's the first piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence we've seen here is really big volume, and I'll switch over to the Ethereum chart now. This has been the cleanest chart to trade for a number of reasons, but again, that 129.32 fib level where I spoke about, I'd sort of really looked to back up the truck, and I missed that by $1, but I spoke about I'm not too fussed. If we ever pick up within 10 or 20% of the bottom of the move, we've done pretty well, and we're definitely buying under $200 here, as I spoke about before, and I said these things would overshoot to the downside, and they certainly surprised me how low they got. At no point did I think Ethereum, the fundamentals had changed and we would get this low, but markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So that's another reason just not to trade these markets. Be happy with your buy orders and for your core portfolio, and try to think long term. So if we get back to this evidence, so Ethereum here, this bull volume we saw come in, this big green candlestick again, was the third highest volume we've seen in Ethereum in all-time trading. So another piece of evidence that the buyers really stepped in. So as far as the other indicators go, on a daily time frame here, we're really oversold on stochastics. The most oversold we've been for 6 months or so on the RSI, and the MACD really bottoming out here, and if we can get this crossover here, that would be another sign for me that the bottom is in. So that's the first thing I'm watching. The next thing I'm watching is, can we break these trend lines in Ethereum and Bitcoin, these long-term downtrends? So we need to break those to really confirm the bottom's in. But just as I switch over to the hourly chart here, especially for Ethereum, that's the one I want to focus on. This is just going to take a while to load. Apologies, I'm overseas at the moment and the internet's not the greatest, but I just want to share this post, as I think, for me, sentiment is the most important thing to gauge when trying to work out where we are in greater market cycles. So here's a post I sent out to my members yesterday morning, 6:57 a.m. So starting to read posts with extreme negative sentiment on social media, Reddit, all those sort of platforms I look at. A lot of people throwing in the towel. And then I started to read a lot of posts about, I'm just going to sit out and put my money on the sidelines and wait to be able to buy in easily at low prices on August 1st. And that is what, when there's a lot of guys that are all thinking that this is going to be easy, that's a big red flag for me, that they're not going to have a chance to easily just buy in at low prices all at once. These are the perfect conditions for a bottom to form, as the same investors who are making such statements are the ones that are going to be chasing this market and propelling it higher once the bottom is confirmed. And that's something I want to talk about now. So I told members that I picture this as, when Ethereum was getting this low, I told them that I'm picturing this as a beach ball being pushed underwater. Nothing's fundamentally changed for Ethereum and all these other altcoins that are getting dragged down because of the Bitcoin fork issues, and I expected a really sharp rebound. And I just want to put my Elliott wave hat on for a second. And in Elliott wave theory, we look for impulsive structures, and we got this nice sharp move higher, a nice pullback, a really strong wave 3. In Elliott wave theory, we look for 5 wave moves, and wave 3 should be the biggest, and it was there from low 140s all the way up to $180, then a wave 4, and now a nice wave 5 to finish this move off around the low 190. So what I want to see now is a bit of a corrective structure. So in Elliott wave, we look for maybe an A, a B, and a C, and I'd look for this to settle at a nice high fib level like I normally do. So let's just measure. Oh, sorry, grab that fib tool again. We just want to go from the bottom to the top of this move. So I'd be looking for a consolidation, maybe a bit of a bounce off the fib levels here, but as long as we stay above these levels here, so 169, 161, and even 154, that still keeps a really bullish setup in place. So let's see. There's going to be a correction now. There's going to be a certain percentage of buyers that are still scared and waiting to get out on a bounce. We might not see the bottom, especially in Bitcoin, if these fork issues really get ugly again. But for now, I think for other coins, you're going to see the smart buyers start to step in, and huge moves down in the longer term time frames for a lot of these coins. And like I said, the fundamentals didn't change for these coins. In the stock market world, there's ways to value companies, PE ratios with their earnings. In commodity space, we can measure supply and demand. But with crypto, it's very hard to measure exactly how much these different coins and tokens are worth, okay? So we're always going to overshoot to the downside. There's a lot of new guys in this space, but we have seen Google trends for these Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin start to pick up again after they bottomed out a few days ago. But I really think this is good signs. So I put the chances that the bottom's in maybe 80% now. Okay, so you know what I'll be watching. A nice corrective structure here. Let some guys get out that will still want to get out on the bounce. Look for that high volume to come in on the green candles, okay? Look for the red candles to have the smaller volume here as we keep moving up, but we need to keep setting these higher lows, okay, and making higher highs on the hourly chart, and then again when we switch back to that daily chart, okay? So no one knows for sure if the bottom's in. I've got a pretty high conviction that it is, though. We're seeing a lot of good signs. I've gone over half a dozen reasons why I think the bottom is in now. I think these things overshot to the downside, and you'd be really lucky to get a chance to buy back in at that $130 mark down there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to you soon.